y'all, it is a 76-degree beautiful day out here in Round Rock, Texas, and I've got a fun project. Shouldn't take too long, but Custom Auto Works sent me a Raptor style front grille LED light bar that's going to go right here across the top of the grill, and I'm going to throw it on, show you how easy it is to install, and I'm going to actually wire it to one of my ignition hot wires that's under the hood here, so it will always be on anytime the truck is running, even without having to flip an upfitter switch. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm doing the install of this Custom Auto Works LED bar on a 2022 Platinum Trim Super Duty F350 with the trimmer package. All right, let's talk about the parts you get with your order from Custom Auto Works. So this is the light bar that you get in the kit, and you can see it's set up with 5 LEDs across the front. I chose the amber option on mine, but you can choose white or amber. So the LED bar is nicely wired with a single cord here. So you take this wire and connect it to a harness. You've got 3 harness options. If you have a truck with the halogen headlights, then you're gonna want the first harness, and that's your plug and play option if you intend to connect this LED via this connector to your truck lights in a plug and play fashion. That's this first harness, and it comes for free. It's included with your purchase. So that's the first option, and that's included for free, but it only works with halogen headlights. If you have LED headlights, you have a few more options here. If you choose LED headlights on your order, then you get this harness. This harness gives you a plug that connects to the connector on your LED light bar, and then the other end gives you a butt connector and this T-tap connector so that you can connect. The instructions say to either an upfitter wire or to a headlight wire. You could also connect it to, I think it's the brown ignition hot wire that's next to the upfitter bundle under the hood. So you've got a few options with this, or you could connect it to some other powered wire you have somewhere in your truck. So you've got the free included halogen plug and play connector, the free included LED option if you choose LED on your order, but not quite plug and play. There's also a plug and play option for an extra $30 that you can purchase when you order the light bar. This is a separate item you have to add to your cart separately. If you purchase this, then you have a plug and play LED headlight option to connect your LED light bar. So just quick review, you've got free plug and play for halogen headlights. With this blue background, you've got a $30 upgraded second item plug and play option for LED headlights. And if you don't choose this and all you do is order the light bar and select LED and the drop down is your style, you get this T-tap connector option, which requires you to make an electrical connection to one of your upfitter switches or some other switch. So all you're gonna need to do the install of the LED bar is a wrench with a 10mm socket. I've got a short one and a long one, and then a pry tool that you'll use to remove the clips that hold the plastic shroud on top of the bumper. Aside from these tools, you won't need anything to make the electrical connections if you use the plug and play option either for the halogen lights or for the LED lights. However, if you use the harness like I'm going to do, you'll need to make an electrical connection to the wire that you choose, whether that's tapping into an upfitter wire or a headlight wire. The other thing I recommend you having on hand is some zip ties that are rated for outdoor use so that you can secure this cable through the engine bay wherever you route it, whether you're routing it to a plug and play option or to one of the upfitter switches. One thing I wanted to mention is the instructions on step 1 say to remove 13 retaining clips for this plastic cover here on the top of the grill. There's actually 14. The one the instructions is missing is right here in front of the latch for the grill, or for the hood rather. So that's the 14th one right there, right above the Ford logo. So let me start by showing you how to remove this plastic shroud that's on top of the grill here. Take your pry tool, and you can use a screwdriver, but a pry tool makes it a little bit easier. And what you want to do is first pop up the plastic a little bit here, and then I like to work the pry tool in to both sides like that, pop it up, and then this is loose and you can pull it out like that. The reverse is you push it in, seat the bottom part, and then you push the top end to lock it into place. There's several of these across the grill as you look. There's like one here, one here, one here. They're up top, like right here. So they're all through here. And once you get them all loose, then this will pop up pretty easily. This one right here, where the airbox is, there's this intake. So when you pop this one up, you can pop this loose, and it'll probably be easier or necessary to pop this off to remove this. That last one was at a bit of a weird angle, so I used a flathead screwdriver to pop it up a little bit to get the pry tool under, and then finished it with the pry tool. Next, I'm going to take my 10 millimeter socket and remove the bolts that are holding the grill on. There's some on top and there's some on the inside right here. The nut here is kind of close to some other pieces of the bumper, so the longer socket actually is a bit easier. There it is. Okay, so I'm doing the install of this Custom Auto Works LED bar on a 2022 Platinum Trim Super Duty F350 with the trimmer package. So since this is a Platinum grill, one thing I want to point out is there's a plastic cover right here and on the other side, and you'll want to remove this to get to a 10 mil bolt here that I'm going to pull out on either side, because to install the light bar, we're not removing the whole grill, but we're just going to pull the top back a little bit. You can see it wiggles a little bit already. And so what I want to do is just give it a little bit more wiggle room so I can pivot the top out and get the LED lights in there. Okay, these are a little more recessed, so in addition to my long socket, I got a small extension. Okay, as a little bonus item, I have Limitless AutoWorks train horn integration harness. So I'm gonna take a moment and connect this to the horn while I have the grill pulled back. So the basic idea is this pigtail goes between the OEM horn and the harness behind the grill. So I'll unplug the horn, plug this in between it. I'll secure this with a zip tie. This is the relay. And then the relay has a yellow wire and a blue wire. The yellow wire will go to an upfitter switch. The blue wire will go to the train horn valve. So then when the upfitter switch is on, the train horn and the OEM horn blow. When the upfitter switch is off, only the OEM horn blows. And I will install the air horn later, but for now I just want to get this connected up and zip tied and have these wires accessible for the future when I use them. The light bar attaches in two places. So there's going to be two bolts that hold it in, 2 of the 6. This doesn't go on because of the wiring harness, and I could kind of squeeze it to try to get it on, but then these sticky things start to peel off. So basically this doesn't fit over that section right there. Okay, I think I came up with a solution. I cut off the wiring harness from the little stickies and I slid it down below the peak. When it's below the peak, I zip tied it again, so it's just basically right below where the stickies were. This gives me enough clearance to allow this to attach to the bolt on top of the truck behind the grill. Okay, so I've got the 2 side bolts back in. I got them snug. I might do a little bit further tightening once I get the other bolts in. Just going in reverse order, I'm going to do the 10 mil nuts next that are adjacent to the headlights. Now I've got the 10 mil bolts that go on the top. I already have 2 in that I just hand threaded that hold the bracket into the grill, and I'm going to do the other 4 now. I've got all the bolts and nuts back on for the grill, so the grill's securely attached. Now I'm putting the little plastic covers back over the bolts that face forward. Okay, the grill's reattached and tightened. You can see the lights there at the top of the grill. They already look good. Can't wait to turn them on. So now let's route the power wire harness. So if you watch the stage 3 video, they just show pulling it out and wrapping it over this and then going down and through. They actually connect it to the fog light, which is not the way the instructions from Custom Auto Works say to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it to the ignition hot upfitter wire that will send power to this when the truck is running. So I want to route my wire a little more cleanly than just throwing it over the top here. So I'm going to use my trim removal tool, pop this Christmas tree clip out, and put my wire through here with this other bundle of wires behind this little plastic cover. So you can see here I've got my trim removal tool behind the Christmas tree clip. I'm going to just pry it out. Boom, easy. I can route my harness wire behind this. All right, let me show you real quick how I routed the wiring harness for the LED light bar. So it goes off that way down the truck. So it's right here. And I put it in a little groove right here that'll be under the plastic shroud when I put the shroud back on. So like the shroud plugs go in right here and right here. I just stuff the wiring harness down that hole, put a little bit of Tesa electrical tape on it. And now I'm going to put this Christmas tree clip right here back in that hole. Here's the harness that comes from Custom Auto Works. This is the end that's meant to attach to an upfitter wire or T-tap to a headlight wire. And this is obviously the ground side. What I like to use are these waterproof connector plugs. They're amazing and they're super easy to put on. So I stripped back the end of this red wire and I used a pair of these crimpers. They're 4-sided crimpers that crimp terminals like this onto the wire. And then you stick those into these plugs and they lock in. And then these plugs are great for reusing or removing connectors, and it's super easy to do. So these are the connections that I like to use under the hood for the upfitter wires. Of course, I'll have a link to these plugs in the description on the video so you can grab them on Amazon if you want to use them yourself. Okay, so I pushed these little clips in and lifted this up off of the plastic tabs right here. And so underneath here are your upfitter wires. Now 6 of these go to your upfitter switches and turn on and off when you flip the switches inside the truck. There are some other wires under here that do different things. Like there is a solid brown wire that is hot anytime the truck is running. You can use your T-tap connector that's provided to run your harness up here and tap into that brown wire, and then anytime you turn the truck on, power will be sent to your light bar or your Raptor style lights. So I have some plugs that I really like using more than the T-taps. So let me show you what I chose to use. So if you look under here, you see there's that brown wire right here. Now make sure you don't get the brown with red stripe. The brown with red stripe is just a battery hot wire. The solid brown wire is hot only when the truck is running. And that's the one I wanted to use. So you can see here, I have these plugs that are waterproof, and all you have to do is crimp on a little terminal to the wire on each side and then slide it into these waterproof connectors. And these connectors are a male-female plug that you can plug and unplug, so it's easy to remove or change what's plugged into the wires. What I'll show you here is this was the free, since I have LED lights, my LED lights came with the free harness to use for the T-tap, but I cut off this end of this red wire right here from the free harness with the LED option and instead crimped my own terminal on and added my plug. I'll link to these plugs in the description of the video. I think they're awesome, but it's your choice. You can use whatever you prefer, or you could just solder it together. Whatever makes you happy. Here's what the Custom Auto Works Raptor style amber grill lights look like. I have a 2022 F350 Platinum trim with the Tremor package. So I have the 5-light style in the grill. I think they look pretty cool. I've got them connected to the brown wire as part of the upfitter bundle, so they come on anytime the truck is running. And they look awesome. So shout out to Randy at Custom Auto Works. Thanks for hooking me up with these for the channel. I hope you love the video, and I encourage others to go grab a set of these and get them installed on your truck. If you have any questions, add a comment below and I'll see what I can do to help you out. All right, here's what the Custom Auto Works LED Raptor style grill light looks like in the daylight. It's pretty concealed. The lights are very hidden inside the grill. And they line perfectly up with the platinum trim grill. There's 5 lights across the top, and at night they look awesome.